Guys, welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to walk you guys through my garden, and I will be throwing up some different pictures of what it looked like. I've only been here about 4 months now, and I've done all this. A lot of these plants I've been transferring with me. Some I started from seed, and a lot of stuff I've had just kind of what would you say, gimping it along, and now they're doing really good now that I've learned a lot about gardening. So over here in this corner I have a whole bunch of different types of mint, and I will show a picture because they were just barely hanging on. Mint is a really strong plant, and it grows under the ground and then comes back up, so I knew that it would be okay, but after overwintering there was barely any leaves, and now it's looking really nice. Here we have a firecracker honeysuckle plant, and actually just earlier a little hummingbird was perched right here, and the hummingbirds are just loving it. This I did just buy this spring, so it's a brand new plant, and it had no flowers at the time. It's just growing so crazy. There's a little patch of some things that I found from a wildflower mix. I had them mixed up with something else, so they're a little bit sad looking right now, but I know that they'll do fine and they'll overwinter because they're Snapdragons, and I was able to get all of my Snapdragons to overwinter last time, so those will be perfect for the hummingbirds as well. This is kind of like a pollinator little section here, and I like to call this my rainbow garden because it kind of goes from like the red shades to orange, yellows, but it's still also kind of blended, and then it comes over here and goes blues and purples and such. So in the middle right here is my orange. It's a vining rose, and it's orange. These markings are actually just from using a pepper oil type thing when I had aphids, but I've stopped worrying about the aphids, and I just let the predator bugs take care of them. So yeah, so that is a brand new bare root plant this season, and I will let you guys know what this is called because when I was at a garden center I found another plant exactly like this. This was from a wildflower mix last year, and it overwintered and is blooming again this year. Here we have my bluegrass. I started from seed, and I've actually just recently cut it back, and it will grow again. This is its second year, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of seeds from it. I've harvested tons of seeds, but I also leave some for the birds as well. This is a rose that I believe the stock rose has actually taken over. I think it's going to be either white or pink because it was supposed to be a purple tea rose, but yeah, the hybrid portion, I think it's growing from the stock, so I'm not worried about it. Here is a forget-me-not, also from the wildflower mix, and look, it overwintered again. It's amazing. So and right here I just cut all the flowers off, so I'll show you a picture of what it looked like. A lot of these I've kept with me over the years, and now I just put them in the ground. But this is my Columbine plant. It's a purple and white one right here. It's starting a new set of flowers. It'll bloom all season long into the fall, and I just cut the flowers off before they go to seed and to keep it blooming. So this right here is a purple azalea plant, and it's looking actually really good after what happened. It turned all yellow because I had divided it. It was actually two plants, and look, I have here's a caterpillar. Come check this out. You see that? So I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna be too worried about it. It could be good at pests. It could be a pest, or it could be a beneficial. I don't know. I'm not worried because at the end of the day they all work together. So I don't stress too much about the aphids or the caterpillars or the bugs because they bring in the ladybugs and the wasps and the lacewings, the spiders, and the birds. So at the end of the day, if there's food, the others will come and they'll keep your garden looking good. There's pests on all of these plants, and they still look really good. I just got this peony this year, and it was literally just a couple little pieces of green poking out of the grass. I swear the next day after I planted it, it just popped right out of the ground. Unfortunately, a few of the buds, they dried up. I'm not sure if I wasn't giving it consistent moisture or if I was giving it too much fertilizer, but that's okay. I have one bud this year, and over time it will, you know, start to get stronger. I have a little spider here, which I love, and it caught a fungus gnat. so it's doing its job. So right here I have a California lilac, which is not actually a lilac plant, that is blooming. It smells amazing, and if we go, yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful plant. It smells really good. And so if we go around, this is where I keep my dogs. Just one little peek right here. I'm really excited about this Magnolia tree. I got this on Almost Eden. You may have seen my my haul that I did like 2-3 years ago. My Almost Eden haul. Well, this one survived. I also have a hydrangea I'll show you that survived. They've been limping along as sticks for the past couple of years, and finally I got 2 little blooms, and now I got a bunch of leaves, so I'm super excited about that. So this is the front view, which is really, oh look, I have a bug. Bye bye. I just pruned up my lavender. I pruned up a whole bunch of stuff, harvested some beautiful lavender buds. I had seen some bumblebees on it, and so I left a couple for the bumblebees to keep coming. But you can see that I have some new buds started on all of these. This one is filled with buds. Filled. It's going to be even more glorious than it was. This one also filled with new buds, so I clip the old flowers off and allow it to reflush. Here is a Shasta Daisy that is just filled with buds, as you can see, also filled with buds. And then if you want to come over here, these are 2 miniature roses, and you will be surprised, and this one's filled with buds, filled with them. This is a yellow upright version, and then this is a trailing orange. This one has a bunch of aphids, but I also found a ladybug larva and a spider that just dropped. So they're all doing their job, working. A lot of my neighbors are complimenting this little combination here, and I love this. These are 2 different types of petunias. Well, the one orange one, it's a smaller one, I think a Supertunia, or it starts with a C, but super beautiful. One does need, these 2 plants do need more water than the other, but they seem to be working well in together, so I'm totally okay with that. And this little guy attracts hummingbirds, at least that's what I assume. Okay, so if you want to turn this way. Okay, so up here I have a nasturtium that I started from seed. I actually divided up a mixed seed packet, and I ended up getting a variegated and then a regular nasturtium, which is so exciting. And then I just kept cutting it back, pinching it back, and then tucking in those cuttings to make it more bushy into the soil, and they did root. So here I'm going to insert a picture of this Dianthus here, because it's gotten so big, and it's going to start putting out buds here pretty soon. It's got tons of little buds on it. And then if you'll check this out here, the star jasmine is budding up quite nicely. I mean, it's going to have tons of flowers on it. It's getting this problem. I'm not sure exactly what this problem is. It's some type of rust or something. So it is a disease that is contagious to the other leaves, but I've been picking the leaves off and it's getting less and less, so I think I got it under control. Here you'll see the spirea, and I will insert a picture because you'll see that this is overwintered for me, and it's got all nice new tender growth, which is wonderful. Oh, I just put my hand in a spider web. Anyway, poor guy. And wow, look at this. I didn't notice this. I'm finally getting flowers on this this clover here. I'm obsessed with all different types of clovers. This is a 3rd-year clover patch that have been split up, divided, messed with, repotted, and it's doing wonderful. And then here is kind of a shade garden. All of these are shade-loving plants, so if you're interested, give them a try. As you can see, they're doing amazing. They get barely any sun. They get a small little peek of it in the morning, and then maybe an hour of it in the afternoon, evening time. But this Lamium down here is doing really great. The bees love it, and it was just barely doing very well at all in a pot, and as soon as I put it in the ground, it just took off. And this bleeding heart plant, I wish I had some flowers to show you, but it's usually an early spring bloomer, and we're in early summer now. But this thing was just a little peak of green as well, and it had overwintered for me. I honestly didn't even think it was still alive in there in the pot, but I put it in the ground anyway, and it took off, so that's awesome. Let's see here. So this corner is kind of a jumble because I'm still working it out. But we have, I'll insert a picture of what these are. These are a type of daylily type plant. But just like the other one, I have a little picture I saw at the garden center what it is. These are just wild clovers back here. And then we have corydalis, which smells wonderful. And then as you can see, little hostas throughout. This willow is a willow I got from cutting, and I'm basically doing a medium-sized bonsai with it. It is in its 3rd year with me, and it's been doing really good. And then me and my son, we created this bird bath, and the birds are coming and they love it. We drilled some holes in a terracotta planter. We made a frame to keep this up high. I put some rocks down below, and then you can see when I do this, look up here, I can change how this is. So that's really fun. Really fun. I have all sorts of options. And the sound is drawing the birds. So it's wonderful. This back here is another shade garden. I have some red salvias. I have about 5 of them in between here. And then I have sweet peas, morning glories, Irish moss, and then I can't remember what this one is called. I'll have to put it on the screen. And then this is a local, it's a lily of the valley. It's a white local one. And then back there, some coleus. So a whole bunch of flowers that I started from seed kind of here that I'm slowly working into different areas of the garden. I just found this Citronella plant, which is great for magics. It's wonderful for if you're a business person or if you need any sort of social boost, anything like that, which I'll talk to you about on my magics videos. But in the middle is going to be my food garden. So as you can see, I did a little trail kind of, and this won't be blocking here the whole time. So yeah, so I have peppers, spinach, I got all sorts of stuff growing in the middle. Herbs, calendula, which is also an edible flower, but I leave it for the bees. Raspberry, a little spider, strawberries, and then feverfew. So here is a little bit of my harvest from today. So what I found was the most interesting was my sage plant was flowering, and so I cut those. Anyway, so thank you for checking out my garden tour, and I hope you're excited as I am to see how far this has come along in just like 4 months. So I will see you guys at the next one. Thank you. Bye.